Today we are talking about the origins of Rome. So let's get started. How's it going, everybody? Welcome to Virtual History 360. I'm Mr. Wade and we are talking about Rome. Or should it be called Reem? Stick around to the end of the video to find out. But before we get to the name, we should talk about where Rome is located. You see, the city is located near the center of the Italian peninsula, which itself is centrally located in the Mediterranean region. Because of this location, it allowed people to easily travel to Rome from Africa, Asia, and Europe. Now, why would people want to travel here? Well, you gotta think about it. The climate, of course. Italy is known for having a mild climate, usually sunny with fertile land, and this allowed for crops to be grown in abundance on its high plains atop of the mountains. Now, if you can grow the food, you can support the population, and Italy could support a large population. So, why is Rome where it is? Well, it's not a coastal city. In fact, it is located about 15 miles up the Tiber River from the Mediterranean. The river makes it easy for travel to and from the city, transporting goods, and being that far from the sea, it protected them from raiding pirates. The city is also spread out across 7 hills, steep hills, that made it easy to defend from land attacks. Because of this central and easily defendable area, different groups began to move in. By 800 BC, there were Latins, Greeks, and Etruscans influencing the Roman civilization. The Greeks introduced grape and olive farming and also their alphabet. The Etruscans brought in brick and tile masonry and water drainage, city planning, They also introduced their art and weapons. They were miners, they used metal. They introduced all this to Rome. The Romans, in turn, took these styles and combined them with that of the Greeks. The influence carried into the way the streets were laid out and the clothes that were fashionable. But there was more. The Etruscans prided themselves on their army. This allowed them to gain control of Rome, and this army served as a model for the great army that the Romans would create later on. You see, the Etruscans gave many benefits to the Romans, but the Romans were growing pretty tired of the Etruscan rule. And in 509 BC, Tarquin the Proud, who was the Etruscan king at the time, was overthrown. And this is when the Roman Republic was established. Now, a republic, that's where officials are elected to represent the citizens. All right, back to this. Although Rome was still a small city, they used their army to expand. How did they have such an army? Well, they required every land-owning male citizen to serve in the army. These soldiers were well trained and, under penalty of death, were very loyal to Rome. But it wasn't just their numbers, but their strategy as well. You see, the old strategy went away. They shifted away from the Greek strategy of forming rows. Now the army was organized into legions. Each legion had about 6,000 soldiers, and each legion was broken into smaller groups of 60 to 120 soldiers. These small groups were awesome. They made it easier to maneuver around the battlefield, and this proved to be very effective. By 267 BC, Rome controlled most of Italy. Now, much like other successful groups that we've talked about before, Rome was able to maintain their empire by protecting their lands with military outposts and treating their new subjects fairly. This fair treatment created loyal subjects to Rome. And that loyalty was rewarded with benefits of being full citizens of Rome. Now, as a citizen, they could vote, or these citizens, could vote for who served in the government. And I tell you, for Rome, this strategy paid off as the Republic grew larger and stronger. But there's a lot more to the story of Rome than I'm going to get to today. But what about naming the city? Well, the legend goes that Mars, the god of war, had 2 sons named Romulus and Remus. Well, after they were born, they were soon abandoned near the Tiber River, where they were discovered by a female wolf. Instead of eating the babies, she cared for them. This allowed the twins to survive long enough to be taken in by a shepherd and his wife, and that's where they were raised. As adults, Romulus and Remus planned to build a city along the Tiber River, but could not agree on the fortification, how they would protect it. The Roman historian Livy, I think is how it's pronounced, tells what happened next. Then followed an angry altercation. Heated passions led to bloodshed. In the tumult, Remus was killed. The more common report is that Remus contemptuously jumped over the newly raised walls and was forthwith killed by the enraged Romulus. Romulus thus became sole ruler, and the city was called after him, its founder. So, because his brother made fun of him, Romulus killed Remus and named the city Rome. Well, had it been the other way around, we could be calling it Rheims today. Now, of course, there are other accounts for the story, or other accounts for how Rome came about. The Greek historian Virgil tells the tale of Aeneas, who came from Troy. He escaped the Trojan War and settled, because he was looking for a new place, trying to escape war, settled upon central Italy. There, he married a local king's daughter and joined his Trojan group with the group of Latin-speaking people. Because of this, Aeneas was known, or is known, as the father of the Romans. Tell you what do you think of the story of Romulus and Remus? Do you believe that story? Or do you think it was Aeneas who founded the city? Tell me in the comments below, okay? And while you're there, go ahead and hit that like button for me. I love the engagement, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. If that button's red, let's turn it gray. Be sure to check out my other videos like the ones you see to the side over here. I have other world history videos. I have US history, I have civics. I even have videos that are shot in 360 that you can look all the way around. Take a look around, check them out, because I know you're going to like them. Alright, so for Virtual History 360, I'm Mr. Wade. I'll see you next time.